Hi, today I'm going to be talking to you about order of operations. So as the kids are reviewing for their test, it's a quick video they can watch in the morning while they're getting ready to kind of remind them of the things that we've talked about. So order of operations is all about power. And when we have these order of operations, it's all in order of how the operations affect a number. So when we start with our grouping symbols, and a lot of people learn this as just a P for parentheses, those grouping symbols include our parentheses, our brackets, and our braces. There's really no difference between them. When they get into higher level math, it will help them differentiate between different sets of grouping symbols that are in a problem. But in 5th grade, they're just being introduced to these grouping symbols, so they use them interchangeably so that they understand that they all mean the same thing. After all grouping symbols in a problem are taken care of, we move to exponents. In 5th grade, we don't start talking about exponents until the end of the year, so this is a step that they kind of skip over for right now. After all their grouping symbols and all of their exponents are gone, then they're looking for multiplication and division at the same time. Multiplication and division and addition and subtraction is where the most confusion comes with order of operations. But when we think about if we take a 15 and multiply it by 3, you're making that 15 3 times bigger. If you take 15 and you divide it by 3, you're making 15 3 times smaller. It doesn't matter that multiplication is making the answer bigger and division is making our answer smaller. They have the same effect on the number in that they're making it 3 times bigger or 3 times smaller. So in this first example, they would be doing multiplication first because multiplication is the first operation that appears. In the second example, they would be doing division first because division is the first operation that appears. It depends on the problem. They solve them in order from left to right, doing whichever comes first. The same thing is going to be true for addition and subtraction. If we have a number 10 and we take away 3 and get to 7, we're changing the value of our number by 3. If I take that same 10 and I add 3 to get 13, I'm changing the value of my number again by 3. It doesn't matter that one's getting bigger and one's getting smaller. It's all about how the number is changing. And addition and subtraction, just like multiplication and division, are inverse operations, so they're just the opposite. One doesn't have more power than the other. So in these two examples, the first one, I would be doing subtraction first because it's the first symbol in the problem. In the second example, I would be doing addition first because it's the first symbol in the problem. So depending on what the problem is, sometimes they'll be doing division first, sometimes it will be multiplication, sometimes they'll be doing subtraction first, and sometimes it will be addition.